Murder, rape, child abuse, and many more crimes are all seen as indefensible to society. However, very few crimes in history have ever been so horrific, so sickening, than that of 16-year-old Micheal and 18-year-old Robert Bever. The majority of you out there may already know of the Bever family and their tragic massacre. Nevertheless, it is the minor details of this case that makes Robert's calm recalling of the events so disturbing, even when allowing the suspect the most socially acceptable excuse possible. On the 22nd of July, 2015, the murders began. Micheal lured his 13-year-old sister Crystal to his laptop. Robert then went up behind her, covered her mouth, and slit her throat. Micheal detailed that the intended murder was to be quick and quiet. Instead, Crystal fell to the ground screaming for help. At that point, April, the mother, rushed to her daughter's aid. She was then stabbed 48 times with an orange knife Robert had picked up. By this time, David Bever, their father, has reached the situation. He charges at the men in an attempt to overpower them, but is ultimately stabbed in the chest over 28 times. After the most capable victims, in Micheal's words, were dealt with, the men's attention turned to Christopher, aged 7, and Victoria, aged 5, who are hiding in the locked bathroom. Micheal pretends that his life is in danger and begs the young children to let him in. Unfortunately, they do so, only for both of them to be killed by Robert. Micheal then played the same trick on 12-year-old Daniel, who had locked himself in his father's office and called 911 around 11:30 p.m. After he got the door open, he told Robert, "All yours." The last words Daniel said were, "Please don't kill me. I love you." The only surviving family members were 13-year-old Crystal and 23-month-old Autumn, who was sound asleep in her crib, forgotten about by the men. Now you are fully aware of the extent of their inhumane acts, you can truly appreciate why Micheal's nonchalant recalling of the murders in this next piece of footage is so frighteningly chilling.
Okay, that's all we need. So you put high school for your formal education,
Yep.
And are you presently on any drugs or medication? You answered no. Are you under the influence of alcohol? You answered no. And you do read and speak English, obviously. You put yes.
Yeah.
Sound good? Okay.
Do you take any prescription medications?
Well, man, I'm just kind of got thrown into this, so I was hoping maybe you could kind of just go back at the beginning when all this started and kind of tell me what happened, because I need kind of the details so we know and understand what you went through and stuff.
The detective will most likely know this case extremely well. The aim of this interrogation is not to prove his guilt. The aim is to ensure that the confession has enough detail to stand up in court. Recalling the events may also prove premeditation and facilitate grounds to push for first-degree murder charges.
Okay, so at the very start.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, about 2 months ago
Okay.
is when we first really started talking.
So when you say we, who are you talking about?
Me and my other brother is also.
Your brother?
Yeah, who's he has to do with me.
And what's his name?
Robert Bever.
Robert? Okay. And how old is he?
18.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Sorry.
A couple months ago, I think actually the start of this year, we started talking about voodoo and rampage and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I didn't take it seriously at first, but then he started buying a body armor and stuff.
Where did he buy body armor from?
eBay and Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, legal.
Does he have a job?
He did at Mike Tech. He quit at the start of the year. And basically, it just kept escalating. He kept getting burned, and he asked if I wanted any, and I said yes. So he got me my own set.
Okay.
And then about a month, about June 30th, is when he came to me and said he found out that he can legally buy guns without permit in Oklahoma. That he could.
Okay.
And that's when he started planning. And
Now you said he bought body armor, but you kind of said a bunch of stuff. Did he buy? What else did he buy besides body armor?
Besides body armor, knives, and he was in the middle of buying guns and ammunition.
I see. Okay. Where did he buy the knives from?
eBay too.
Okay.
eBay
Can you tell me, like, how many knives or what they looked like or anything like that?
I think he had about 3 normal knives and then 1 small kit in packs.
Okay. And then the guns. Where did he start buying guns from?
He bought them online. I think the website's like Floyd's Gun Shop, and he bought 2 Glocks, 2 Glock 41s, and a shotgun. I forget, it's like a Moss boot, I think.
Oh.
Bought the Glocks off of a website called Bud's Gun Shop, I think.
Okay.
And he bought the Moss boot off of the official website, and then had them shipped to like the Okinawa gun club. So they're actually right now waiting for him.
So they were shipped
To a gun shop.
here in Broken Arrow?
Yep.
Okay.
And
Where is that gun shop, do you know?
he said 7 miles away. He was planning on biking up.
Okay.
It's like and I think it's next to Gip Mall. It's like the Okinawa gun shop
Okay.
or something. And then he bought, I think it was like 250 shotgun rounds
Okay.
on eBay. Not eBay, but some
On
website.
some website.
And then I think he bought close to 1,000 rounds for the Glocks.
Wow. Okay.
And
But he's still. Oh, so he was supposed to have to pick those up.
Yeah, he was supposed to pick them up today.
And where was he supposed to pick those?
The ammunition was being shipped to the house. The guns were the Okinawa gun shop.
Okay. Do you know what his eBay user was? No. Okay. I just didn't know if you'd ever been on eBay and shopped or anything.
I used to a long time ago, not like, novelty stuff.
Right.
So then how, so he was buying weapons because you guys had talked about murdering.
Yeah, and he started planning it.
Okay.
And I went along with it because I figured the way I thought I wouldn't want to do it. I very quickly learned tonight that I didn't.
Okay. That you didn't want to do it?
I don't want to do it. I didn't, just because I didn't kill anyone.
Okay.
I stabbed someone.
Who did you stab?
My younger brother, Christopher.
Christopher. How old was Christopher?
9, I think.
Was you?
This is the first admittance of violent and life-threatening behavior on Michael's part. The detective will go over this event multiple times throughout the interview to gather as much detail as possible. He will also check the detail with the forensics done on the crime scene to see if his story matches up. If both stories do match up, a defense lawyer will find it very difficult to deny the fact Michael committed the act, as only the offender would know such details.
Stabbing with?
My knife.
What's your knife look like?
It's green, kind of like camouflage on it,
On where your hand goes or where the blade is? It's camouflage?
Yeah, it's all camouflage.
Oh, the whole thing?
Yeah.
How big is it? Show me how big it is.
I think it's about this big.
Okay.
Handleable.
So what was Christopher doing when you stabbed him?
He was laying on the bathroom floor. Robert was also stabbing him. Robert asked me to go over and help him. So I stabbed Christopher and then,
Where did you stab him?
sent it back.
Really? Okay. You okay?
Yeah.
You okay? Let me know if you need a break or anything, okay?
I'm good.
So was Christopher still alive when you stabbed him?
Yes.
What was he saying and doing?
He was just screaming.
Did you say he was in the bathroom?
Yeah, I was next to the toilet with that bathroom.
Who else was in the bathroom?
I think Victoria might have been in there. About
Victoria?
Yeah, my 4-year-old sister.
4-year-old, okay. I want to talk about that more, but we got to try to kind of stay like chronologically, if you know what I mean. So let's go back real quick. We talked about the ammunition being delivered, making plans. Tell me more about making plans and what you guys talked about.
Making plans, we plotted every night, and I studied as we were actually going to do this thing on the second night. And so I started getting ready.
When was that? You second night? What do you mean?
July 1st.
Okay.
Because we started June 30th.
That's when you started making the plan?
Yeah, that's when we found out you could buy guns legally.
I see. Did you guys make drawings or write things down? Or
I think he had a journal. He basically writing his ideas down. I think it's under his bed.
Under his
I
bed?
haven't checked that.
Is it like a
like
a journal, like a notepad, or like a book?
It's like a blank book.
Okay.
A black book. I think it's like a little case or
So
something.
you think he wrote stuff in there?
Yeah, I think he was planning it.
Huh. So then the second day you said that's when you realized that it might actually happen?
Yep.
What made you realize that?
How serious he was. I mean, he was going through, he started planning on taking all of his money out of his bank and throwing away all his stuff, so, you know.
Why did he want to do it?
To kill people?
Yeah.
Well, it's mainly two reasons, I think. It's, because he just, he says he hates everyone. He thinks society is pointless, and so he wanted to kill people.
Now,
And also he wanted to, beat the kill, amount of other famous people like Columbine and James Deacon Holmes.
Okay. Did you kind of feel that way too, like when you guys were talking earlier,
There are many different beliefs as to what drove the men to commit the atrocities. The most widely believed reason is a twisted search for notoriety. The men both shared a twisted fascination with mass murderers, spree killers, and serial killers. Micheal goes on to say multiple times throughout his trial that he idolized those criminals and one day wished to be spoke about in the same sentence as the Columbine shooters. Micheal also expresses his desire to carry on his murderous rampage for as long as possible throughout Washington. This just emphasizes to society once again how easy it is for young men to buy large knives, guns, and 3,000 rounds of ammunition and consequently end many innocent lives.
Yeah.
do you have a problem with society too, you think?
No, I just...
Or you were just more like the number of people getting killed was kind of interesting and exciting?
Yeah.
Okay. So, because you mentioned a couple names are those like serial killers or something?
What, like Columbine?
Yeah.
Columbine and James Deacon Holmes. James Deacon Holmes is a guy that shot up the theater.
In Colorado?
Yeah, he killed 12 and...
Wow. How many were killed in Columbine?
Columbine? I don't know, 15,
Okay.
I think.
So did you guys have a goal? Did you have a number?
He just wanted, I think he wanted to kill 50.
Okay.
I have a goal.
So so as the planning goes, tell me what plans you started making and coming up with.
Well, originally, I think kind of stayed steady throughout the month. We wanted to kill everyone at the house first.
Okay.
And then wait for all the packages to show up over the weekend. And then we take the Yukon, we have our state with the guns and stuff.
Okay.
So rampaging.
Did you know where you were going to drive to?
Towards Washington.
Washington State or DC?
Washington State.
Okay.
Washington State.
Why would you go to Washington State?
It's
Never-
kind of
just never been
it's
there?
just kind of the direction we went on.
And you said Yukon. Do your parents have like a Yukon? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a large Yukon. And so we set a date.
So was the plan to use the knives at first on the family?
Here's the next one.
Because the guns weren't going to be here till later on?
Yeah, and the guns would be too loud.
Oh, I see.
So going to use the knives on the family, which obviously did not go as planned.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
I just sort of know by stories right now. We didn't hook more people. I didn't.
Yeah. So then you picked a date, you said.
Yeah, which was yesterday night. That was the date.
Did you pick a time and everything?
Yep, yeah, midnight when most everyone was in bed except for Mom.
So how did you guys know? He just came and got you, or you got him, or what did you guys do?
We were hanging out in our bedroom waiting.
Okay. And so
How did you pick the date?
We were involved in with packages and stuff would be how, because all the ammunition, he didn't want them to see that. So we killed him the day before the ammunition would get out the day after we would leave.
do you guys not like your mom and dad? I mean, have they, most teenagers don't like their parents, so I can understand that.
Yeah, Mom was okay, but Dad was a little bit,
Just a little bit too much.
Yes.
So you guys waiting in the room,
Mm-hmm.
and was it right when midnight, and that's when things started?
Right at midnight, my sister, she came in because she was getting to go to bed. She came in to tell us.
How old is?
13.
Okay.
She came in to tell us that Mom wanted us to get the kitchen done before we went to bed and put the cats up. And basically, we did what we planned. I got to my desk, and I had to look at something to just get to roll up. We went up behind to grab to and slip with you.
Really? What did he use?
His large red knife.
Okay. A large red knife?
Yeah, it's like mine.
How big is it?
It's like mine, but it's about
Oh, I see.
that big. And then she fell to the ground screaming. Mom and Dad, Mom came in first, and then
Is your room upstairs or something? I don't know. I haven't been to your house, so I don't know.
Her room is downstairs. It's towards the back of the
Okay.
house.
And so she fell down and started screaming.
Yeah, whatever. Kept stabbing her. I kind of freaked out because,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't planning on
Were you
this.
saying anything, or, I mean...
I just stood there.
Okay.
And then Mom came in yelling, called the police. And then he went over and stabbed her.
Then he stabbed her?
Yeah, he probably stabbed her, pushed her, flipped down the hallway, and got up and ran.
Okay.
She ran out the door.
So she sat down at your desk, and he slit her throat, you said?
Well, she was standing at my desk and
Oh, I
came up
see.
behind and slit her throat, and then she fell down screaming.
And then he stabbed her some more? When he was stabbing her some more, where was he stabbing her?
Her neck.
Oh, at her
Her
neck.
neck and stomach.
Stomach.
The cold, calculated, and apathetic way Michael explains the shocking death of his younger sisters and the slaughter of the rest of his family is used in court to show the sheer lack of remorse for his actions and empathy for his victims to the jury. This may have contributed to the length of his sentence.
And then my mom came in and she started yelling, called the police, get Dad. And then he came over and started attacking her. They actually got up and ran out the front door.
Wow.
And once Mom was on the ground, he got up and started chasing after her.
And what were you doing?
Standing
Did you come out in the hallway?
No, I was just standing in the room. And the process, I don't know what I was doing.
So he stabbed your mom with the same knife?
Got some,
And where did he stab her?
I think in the neck too.
Okay.
And no, actually, he stabbed her in the neck, pushed her into the kitchen, and then together. So with her, she started screaming and ran into the family. At the same time, he probably left the house.
Okay.
I went over and disabled the alarm.
Okay.
That's what I did. And then he
Where's
ran.
the pad for your alarm?
It's not the front door.
It's what?
It's now the front door.
Near the front door?
Yeah, and so I went over and disabled the alarm so it wouldn't,
But had she already gone outside?
She went outside and then Robert went after her.
So where did she...
She was laying in the driveway and he to go her back from, the bench, if you don't know it, and started choking her.
on the bench out front?
Yeah, it was like a little bench and he threw the bench on her and went back inside to go after the little kids.
Did he bring her in or did she stay out there?
She stayed out there until he asked me to be in her and I ran out. I had to go her inside. That's why she's in the rescue way. I had to go her inside.
Oh, you brought her back in.
Yeah,
Was she still alive?
Yeah, she was still screaming. And then that's about the time Dad came down.
Okay.
Because his bedroom's upstairs. And he went back in the boys' area where Robert was. The boys' area, that's what they call it, a room. And they started attacking Dad. They got a little bit of a fight. But then eventually Robert got him down and I think he killed him.
Did he cut his throat too? Where did that happen?
In our room.
In your room?
Yeah.
And where were you?
I was standing in the hallway.
Okay. So did you see him cut your dad's throat?
Yeah.
Did he stab him other places too?
I don't know, I think he just went for the throat.
And where was she? Was in the entryway?
Yeah, I think she was in the entryway at that time. And then he went in and Daniel was in his room, which is down the hall. And I was like,
how old's Daniel?
I think he's 12.
Okay.
And I was like, let me in, and he let me in. He was sitting on the phone with the police. I grabbed the phone, which is my phone. He got my phone. And then I ran into the kitchen and I smashed the underground.
Which was your phone?
Yeah, it was my phone.
Oh, I don't have a cell phone anymore.
Michael has just explained the way he butchered nearly all of his family members. The detective's emotion will no doubt be very high at this point. However, he realizes it is imperative to stay calm in this situation. Now is not a time to interrupt Michael while he is talking. The detective tries to make a joke to keep the conversation going.
And Dale went back down, and and Daniel and Christopher locked himself in the bathroom, Daniel locked himself in Dad's office.
Okay.
And then I finally got both of them to open the door, because they thought I wanted in there.
But they were in different rooms?
Yeah, the guy next to each other. Right?
Oh, I see.
And then Robert went in and stabbed him, and they went in and stabbed Christopher. That's when I stabbed Christopher.
So when he stabbed Daniel, where did he stab Daniel?
I think he shanked him in the neck, and then Daniel ran off, and so I went in and started attacking Christopher.
So Daniel got stabbed in the neck and ran off?
Yeah.
Where did you run to?
He ran into the family room about Mom. Mom ended up, she was laying on the ground yelling, call 911.
Okay. And he stopped in there?
Yeah, he collapsed in there, and then Robert came in and started stabbing him in the chest.
Oh, I see. And then who's the youngest, the 4-year-old?
The 4-year-old, I don't know what happened with her. I hope she's alive, right?
I'm sorry, maybe I messed up. The one that you stabbed, who was that?
Christopher.
Christopher, that's what
He's
I'm trying to
he's
say.
8-year-old, I think.
He's 8.
10.
And he was in the bathroom.
Yep.
So Daniel had got stabbed in the neck, ran out to where your mom was.
Yeah.
Robert followed him, stabbed him some more.
Yeah, after we stabbed Christopher in the bedroom.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then basically after that, Venom was pretty much dead. We forgot about all.
Who was dead?
Everyone, I think,
Okay.
looked like they were dead, except for she was laying in the he was screaming. Then there was a knock at the door.
Okay.
Someone knocked at the door. I think that might be the neighbor, because the police wouldn't have been there yet. And then they just kept knocking on the door. So we turned around. I grabbed on, put my soft vest and heavy vest on. I was carrying the plates. I put my helmet on. And then we ran out the back door of Dad's office, climbed over the fence, went down into the park, and started cutting through the woods.
Okay.
We both collapsed. Like we saw us being, we were just sitting there, and they found us.
That's how you got kind of dirty and stuff, dirt on you. So you guys collapsed. Were you just kind of hiding out?
Yeah, we were just laying in a little ditch thing in the woods, and then we saw the light, and we lay down, and the dog came over.
Did you hear the dog coming?
Mm-hmm. I heard them coming, I saw them coming, and then they started yelling, put your hands up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I stepped on my head and handcuffed me.
Okay.
Can you okay, I'm a little bit lost, I think, because there's too many people in this house. There's you, there's Robert.
Yeah.
Okay, you're 16, he's 18. Then who's next?
Yeah, she's the third oldest. She was the first one.
Okay. And then Daniel,
And then Christopher.
then Christopher,
And then Victoria.
Victoria.
And then-
She's 4.
Yeah, Victoria's one.
Okay, and what's Mom's name?
April.
April?
April Bever, unmarried maiden name, I think you call it, is Sharp.
Sharp?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And Victoria's 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's Dad's name?
David.
David? Okay.
David.
And then, are there any other kids? How many kids is that? That's...
Then there was, she's a baby, she's about to turn 2 toddler. She was up in her bed. I
Okay.
think he forgot about her. And I think she stayed asleep until the police came. And I saw them get her out, so she's okay.
So you saw them carrying her out?
Yeah, I was in the car.
Was that the plan, was to kill her too, though?
We just walked out like one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when y'all got done at the house, where were you going to go?
We were going to hang out there for at least the day. We were going to get like to get the bodies in a room or something, maybe the attic. Clean up and then wait for the ammunition, go pick up the guns, and then we'll leave the next day.
Where were you going to go? I mean, where was going to be your master plan to get the most people, the most bang for your buck?
We're just heading generally towards Washington State. We're going to do it statewide.
Did you guys have, like, were you going to go, I mean, who else were you going to kill? Just whoever you ran into?
Yeah, pretty much. He said 5 at a time, like gas stations, restaurants.
Okay, and then just keep going.
Yep.
Did he have some money saved up or something?
Yeah, he had about 480 after buying all the ongoing weapons. Plus,
You still have that?
Yeah, plus 100 that I had.
Oh, okay. So, So we talked a lot about your plans in the beginning, because here's what I don't understand is, as you and Robert are kind of planning things out, I mean, because you seem like a really smart kid, and that you kind of, I mean, it seems like you had some pretty detailed plans. You guys had good equipment and weapons, and it seems to me, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I would think that as you guys planned this out, you had maybe more specific plans, like Robert was going to kill this person, and you were going to kill. So who were you supposed to kill?
I was supposed to take my pistol crossbow. He was supposed to shank his, and she was supposed to die quietly. Yeah, she was going to be the first one, she was. And then Robert would go in, slit Mom's throat, push her over with him, and both go in and kill and Victoria.
Because they were supposed to be like quiet. Right?
Yeah, I was supposed to go with it. And then I would go upstairs and shoot David, Dad, and the guy with my pistol crossbow would kill him, and then Robert would go over and kill him.
Okay.
So did you use your crossbow at all?
No. The only time I ever hurt anybody was when I stabbed Christopher in the neck.
Robert was tried as an adult in 2016. He was charged with 5 counts of murder in the first degree and 1 count of assault with a deadly weapon. Michael's case began on April 16, 2018. On August 9th, he was sentenced to 5 consecutive life terms without parole, plus 28 years. Michael is currently being held at Lexington Correctional Center, and Robert is at Joseph Harp Correctional Center. Neither will ever be released.